Hey guys, Mark Lassane, we're here at ICAST 2024 at the Cortland booth with Richard, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the braided machine, of how this works. I've never seen how a braided machine works. Fished with braided line many times. No idea how to put it together. So Richard, show us, this is one of the machines that you use to fill the braided spools. So tell us how this works.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple process. First, we get the product. The fibers come on big perns, typically like 5 to 10 pound perns, and then they get put on a winder. The winder then treats the fiber and individually winds up each individual bobbin that you see right here in the braider. Once you have the exact bobbins like laid out, what you need to make that pound test, you come over to one of these braiders, you load it up, you put the fiber under tension, and you start splicing it together, and then eventually it catches on itself and it starts taking up braid. Right here we're doing 80 pound master braid, which is an 8 carrier, so you have 8 individual fibers going into this product. It is a slow process. Here at ICAST we slowed it down so our viewers can better track it, but we're using high quality spectrum material, and it's done right. After the product is then braided up in a bulk spool, we then have to process that braid, put color on it, and then once it's finished and the color is stuck to the braid, it goes to another department that's then labeled and broken down, boxed up, and shipped out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Great. I appreciate it, man. That was cool. Little lesson on braided line.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's way more involved than that you give us the,
we got
10-second tour. We really appreciate that.
We got quite a bit of them lined up, and they're all going 24/7 year round.
How many machines do you run when you're making line? Like 50 of these?
Yeah. So we have rows of benches, and that's kind of what pulls the whole pulley system. And you engage the braider. Right now we typically have about 150 to 200 braiders going around the clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how many bulk spools of line can you make in a day?
So actually, some of the bulk spools take weeks to braid.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So the bigger the size, the faster it braids up, the bigger the diameter. So like our bigger sizes could take only 10 to 2 weeks to braid, but smaller sizes might take like 3 to 4 weeks for one spool. So that's why you're just constantly replenishing.
Way more expensive than mono, because mono or fluorocarbon, because they just spool it up.
Yeah, there's a lot of labor going into it. The product's got to get broken down. It's got to get treated. These machines are constantly getting greased, constantly getting just worked on.
So the machines break down very often, where you have a problem and then you only have a 7 carrier in there instead of 8.
So all the machines work. What you see, those little springs. The moment if a fiber breaks, just a weird breaking point, that spring goes off and it stops the machine dead in its tracks.
Oh, okay.
So our technicians can come in the morning or during the day. They can just see the roll and be like, "Oh, that one stopped. What happened to it?" And what we do is we just cut it right at the top and just start it fresh. We don't splice it back in.
You don't splice the two together.
Absolutely
I've heard
not.
of companies that splice the two together, and then that's where there's a weak point.
Yep. No.
So you basically run all the fiber, and it's one spool.
Absolutely.
And that's it.
Every time.
And if it breaks in the middle somewhere, that's either a small spool or it's garbage.
Yep. Yeah, a short length that's used for 150, 300 yarders.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark.
Appreciate the quick lesson.
Absolutely.
Thanks.